These are some of the experiences I had while working in a haunted house-type place one October in my hometown. First thing I want to make clear, this building was super old. From what I can tell and find on the internet, it was built in 1916 and was originally a hotel. It had gone through several different owners throughout the years and was at one point a hospital, at another point an apartment building. It stood abandoned for a long time, but every few years, someone would try to raise money to do something with the building. Eventually, the local high school drama teacher bought it, turned it into a haunted house experience. I was brought in one year as a substitute actor, but ended up with an actual position because the girl who was working in my room refused to work in there alone. For a while, she tried to stop people from telling me why. But eventually I learned that she was standing in the shower in the room, hiding alone. Something or someone scratched her back, pretty bad. She still worked there, but she refused to be alone. The first thing that I noticed about the room was it had a very bad vibe. I hated being there alone every night because the room just felt off. The second thing I noticed about the room was the rocking horse in the corner of the room. It was strung up so that it would be hanging in the corner of the room, and it would just rock all the time. It wasn't like I was pushing it all the time or like there was a particularly strong breeze. It just rocked a lot. The next thing I noticed was that there was a super loud sound of running water behind me all the time. The pipes in the building didn't work at all, so water shouldn't have been going through them. It also wasn't raining or anything. I never figured out what that sound was. The other thing that happened a lot in that building was our technology stopped working a lot. Our lights and sounds that we were using would randomly stop all of the time, but it wasn't like it was a total power outage or anything. It was just our strobe lights and our speakers. There were also a couple of nights where I would take my phone out of the box that all the actors put their phones in, and my phone would go all wacky. It's been years at this point, so I don't remember all the details, but when I turned my phone on, it was some sort of black-blue screen with colored or white text that covered the entire screen. I was able to fix it, but it was weird that it only ever happened there. That's all I remember at the time. But if anyone has questions, I'm willing to answer them. Been a while since I shared this story. Background: I worked as an off-shift IT guy in a 24/7 federal building while trying to finish college. My shift, 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. I can't say too much, but it used to be many things, like a sanitarium, a hospital. Very popular in the 1800s. It had its own underground network of tunnels to move supplies and bodies in and out of the building. Train station, cemeteries. During my shift, I worked in 2 physical locations, the call center area and a secure communications room. The most frightening times I had was when I worked in the building's sub-basement. It used to be the building's morgue, but was now the exclusively secure communications room. Since it's 24/7, the lights stay on in that communications room at all times. There's always someone required to be in the room. Didn't matter if it felt like you were being watched anyway. Also, no one was allowed to be in that room alone. Our customers who we support made sure that one of us was in there with them while working. Minimum staffing in that room was 3 people during the day. At night, my shift, 2. Anyway, my story specifically was, as I was wrapping up my homework thesis, I heard a noise, like something heavy being dragged on the other side or opposite of my cubicle. I called my friend over. He heard it too. My cube wall is pretty long, but in the few minutes for my friend to come over, we both heard it for about 5 to 7 minutes. We asked each other if there was anyone else in our secure area, or if any last-minute work was scheduled. Nope. We made the choice to investigate the noise in the area. Nope, nothing. Room doors still locked. No one else but us entered or was present. Took a smoke break and left, just to not run away screaming. People would complain that when they used the common restroom, someone would tug at their clothing while they were in there. It would always freak them out. The worst parts for me would be when I had to walk this huge Gothic building at night and in the dark and manually update computers. The security guards would make their rounds and shut off all of the lights in the areas not used, and I'd go and turn them all on when I did my rounds. Anyway, I'd see and hear things. Shadows appear when I turned on the lights and murmurs at specific places. During the day, when it's sunny, heavily populated, lots of people, you don't notice anything odd. At night, and it's just you and the other guy, hearing noises and seeing things, it's scary as hell. The building is still occupied. I'm told those areas are no longer available or accessed. They're now used for storage only.